From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
It is John Crump Live. How are you guys doing there? I am doing just fine. Thank you for asking. My name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and I investigate stuff. Imagine that. Isn't that freaking incredible? And when I need to go crashing into something, I always bring up my friend, Flying Rich.
Crumpy!
He's actually a really good pilot. I just want to state that for the record. I know I give him a hard time about crashing, but he's actually a really good pilot.
Plane crash expert, though.
Yeah, he is a plane crash expert, but he's actually a good pilot. Now, let me get into the story. Before we do that, we are brought to you by Gideon Optics. Gideon Optics makes affordable optics that are high quality and can last on a 50, as we were able to tell. I'm drinking caffeine right now. I usually try to stay away from the soda, but I just need to stay awake because I haven't slept in a couple of days again. So, with that out of the way, it's not a new camera. It's the same camera, man. Same camera. But I wrote some little AI program to make it try to look better, though. With that said, I was down at Iraq V8888, Iraq Veteran 888, the Dale Earnhardt Jr. lover himself. He had a little event, and while I was down there, some guy was like, "Hey, you never have me on your show." I'm like, because I don't book the guest. That's Rich's job. And he's like, "MF Rich," and he stormed off. So let's bring him on. X7 Studios himself, also known as Tank, or the guy that tasers people. How you doing?
How's it going, guys? The guy who tasers people.
Yeah. How many people you taser at Iraq Veteran this year?
Huh?
How many people you taser this year?
One female and then another
woman.
Yeah, it was good times. Good times. We got to see a Axon taser too, I think. So that was cool. Because I had like two cartridges on me, and then he was just like, "Let me just try this one." I'm like, "Yes." For the cooler one. Yeah, he had 3 seconds, and the guy was like screaming, "Taco, taco, taco!"
I like tacos.
Good move, good times, man. Good times.
Since this is the last show of the week, I do want to shout out something really, really quick. This weekend, 2 days from now, 12 years ago. Yes, 12 years ago, I got married.
Oh, cool. Happy anniversary,
my wonderful wife, Miriam, who Rich knows. I married up in the world.
Yep. I got married on Donald Trump's birthday.
You know what one of my friends said? Of course you would know that. You know, one of my friends, we were like the night before the wedding. He was like, "Man, what did he say?" He said something like that. He's like, "Yeah, John's always said he wanted to find a doctor to marry." I was like, I didn't say that.
There was a great one. I just stumbled upon this. I probably sent it to Dark because I crap post all the time as I'm going through Instagram. So There was the guy and the girl, and he's like, you see the ring on her hand, and he's like got his buddy on speaker, and it's like, hey, I'm no longer dating Carol. He's like, oh my God, thank God, she was a psycho bitch. I can't believe you were dating her. He's like, no, I'm engaged with her.
Mr. FNH just had his 14th anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and your
happy anniversary, bud.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
DB, I got now. I'm gonna call like a blank here. Who is DB? He says he shot my 58 times.
Damn, like just violated it. Like just
Yeah, I shot it once because I had the molded in ear stuff, and like my left ear rang because I'm a lefty. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna shoot anymore. And I think I shot Walt's suppressed 12-inch once, which was crazy. That was so crazy.
No, that was great. I'm getting a 50.
I shot that one. And that was like the quietest.
Dude, it was like shooting a 22 suppress.
I honestly thought it misfired.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
Double check. I'm like, did it just shoot?
So I was like, it must have got a misfire. And Walter's like, no, it fired. I was like, like, how did it fire? Like, there's no recoil.
Yeah, there's no recoil, nearly no noise. You just heard.
Talking about Walter and Safety Harbor Firearms, Dirtfoot Racing is in the house.
Okay, I didn't recognize.
If you guys haven't checked out Dirtfoot Racing, go ahead and check out Dirtfoot Racing. Also, head to Safety Harbor Firearms, buy one of their 50s. It is so much better than the other trash sold by some other companies out there. Sherbu. But yeah, so a lot of people probably don't know who you are, Tink. So go ahead and tell everyone who you are.
Oh boy, tell everyone. How's it going, guys? My name's Chris. I work with my wifey here, who's hiding behind the camera. We do drone operations all over the U.S., and I'm a podcaster too. We do video work for many different kind of companies, especially training companies. So I kind of originate from the training world. That's how I kind of got my fix for the gun industry. Before that was like holsters for a while, and then started to take things a lot more serious and then run my own business. And essentially, things have advanced this far.
So when I call up Tank, the first question I ask is, "Hey, where are you?" You know, he's like, "Oh, I'm in Michigan." I'm like, "Oh, okay," because he's a Florida man. He's you always used to bounce between like Miami and Orlando, like before you're on the road with this gig.
They're like, "Hey, come to Louisiana." I'm like, "Why?" Like, "There's a hurricane." I'm like, "Fun," and that was the best experience ever. It told me just keep going, honestly. But yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Georgia, we hung out at Georgia, and that's great, man. IV 88. That was one of the best, in my opinion. I mean, not stoppages, but I feel like it was like the mood and the vibe and the atmosphere was it was a lot more chill.
So like, I'll tell you what was nice, and I don't know if they did this last year because I didn't go last year, but they had the big, like, a whole bunch of tables you could sit, it was covered, they had that tent area so you could, shoot the breeze with people. There was always cold drinks. First off, thanks to Eric and Brandy, it's a fantastic event. It's free. They provide lunch. I think they had breakfast on Saturday. Which I didn't partake of. What was there? Did you eat breakfast at that tent?
I think either I was like fasting that morning, so like I kind of eating it, but it looked like a couple of sausages and some burritos, I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they had like sausage sandwiches.
And then Sanjay was out there, and he had some dope ass stuff. I didn't get to partake because I just wanted to eat and then be able to move around and get more done.
Yep. And Range Bros was out there. So the event, it's a stupid amount of fun. And the funny thing is, I try to make a point of getting a picture with everybody because it's like it's more. For me, it's about the people that you get to see, or maybe that you've known online and finally get to meet in person.
Right.
So like I finally got to meet Hoffman Tactical in person. That was fun.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a cool kid.
we were chatting it up the whole time there. The event was closing up, and I just see my wife there with them, and it was
Oh
awesome.
yeah. It's like I had a long conversation with Hoffman's mom like a couple of months back, or a month or two back, and it was great seeing her. I spent some time talking with her.
Mm.
Uh, and Hoffman's whole family, his brother, his sister, they were working it. They were working that booth like,
Yeah.
he had nothing to sell. Or
It-
I know he does sell some parts on his website. So for 3D printing, he does actually sell parts on his website. But realistically, they were kind of pimping some of the wares. So I don't want to say he didn't have anything to sell, but if you go to Hoffman Tactical, if you look him up, because we can't tell you how to get there, he does have stuff to sell on his website. But he wasn't even pimping that for the most part, at least not to me.
Yeah,
And
pretty cool
yeah,
kid.
all right, thanks, One Car Fast, dude. Yeah. Yeah. So
Now, like, yeah, I mean, Hoffman's mom was like really chill.
his family is so based. I've talked to his brother and his sister just a brief amount. His mom definitely had much longer conversations with. His family's been off the grid for like 20 years.
Yeah,
They're like,
wanted to pick their whole brain on all that. I was
oh
like,
yeah, oh dude. I'm like, oh gosh, because I'm, I at church I was talking to one of the guys about, solar and batteries and all that bit, because my wife wants a generator, and I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna have to get fuel. You don't have fuel all the time, but there's sun all the time, or enough of the time. Is that Crump that
No,
doesn't know
sorry.
how to podcast? But because unlike him, I did put my phone on mute.
Well, I did put my phone on mute. It's still on mute. I don't understand what exactly happened there, but whatever.
So yeah, I've actually so Tim Hoffman's also a dirigible or balloon or Zeppelin fan, and I don't know if it was in Texas or whatever. There was like a balloon fest, so he went out there for that right after the show.
no
So I've been,
shit.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
For
Yes, I've
him.
been trying to get him on the show. So Tank is, I know you going back a ways, but like from just shooting events and stuff, more Aries. Like I think the crew that we went to Aries a couple of times. I think that's where I know you from mainly.
The good days.
The
Yes.
I haven't been there since like the last time, and that's where Walter met you, Walter Keller. He's like, I know you from somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot you guys were all together at Aries, going back a ways. But it's been a couple of years,
Mm.
and I haven't been out that way since the last time we were there. But you do drone work, which so you're part 107, which is FAA licensed drone pilot. I'm also not only a instrument rated pilot, but I'm also a drone pilot. And so just like my job's come to an end on the 23rd, last time I was between jobs, I'm like, oh, I see all these ads, make millions of dollars flying drones with your drone license. I made $0. So you're one of the few people I know
it's
that
a little hard.
your full-time gig is basically flying drones. Uh-oh. You flipped another
Can you
app.
hear me okay?
I got you now. Yeah, I was just saying you're one of the few people I know that's actually got a 107 and is making money with it.
Oh, yeah, put me on the spot. So the thing is, I've had a long time with these companies, and they get us the priority kind of work, and they usually kind of vary between like doing insurance jobs and then tower jobs. Now, I can't divulge like too much information about who and then what and then exactly where, but pretty much I think I've been over like 36 different states. working in like so many different towers and shit. So it's like we got the chance to like kind of live around the area for a bit, and it had its ups and downs a couple of times. I mean, it's low work, especially because of the economy and all the bullshit going on. The telecom industry just kind of been taking a huge goddamn hit, especially in their budget allocations, and like a lot of the companies were going like pretty over budget allegedly, and yeah, it got a little kind of hairy. So lay off a whole bunch of people that were like waiting for this work to come, and it didn't come, unfortunately. And yeah, things are hopefully going to pick back up. I mean, the problem is that with this current administration and everything going on with the economy and telecom in general, it's like it's falling apart a little bit. I think just a little bit.
So you're seeing because how long you been doing the or how long have you been with this one company? It's been a couple of years. It's been like 2 years, right?
Yeah. No, I'd say about like maybe 3 to 4.
Oh, really? Okay.
Had a long history. They're really cool people. They're awesome. They pay on time. They get shit together, and they have missions for us. So it's like it's nice. We're able to get by because yeah, that was getting a little rough for a while because we didn't have any work for almost like an entire month, and we were just like,
oh shoot.
And so we had to figure out, and little by little, you know, things started picking back up, and kind of like I wouldn't stabilize, but it's been like rocky. It's been like
Because I remember, I think it was a year and a half ago. It was pretty nutty. They were like looking for drone operators, like man.
Yeah, their budget was like, oh hey, this many millions and shit, and then all of a sudden, hey, we went way over. And
I think a lot of companies, and I think that's one of the reasons my contract's not getting renewed, is companies expected revenue to keep going like this, and it didn't.
Yeah, and then it'll stable, all that kind of shit, supposedly stable.
I'm gonna set it this way. Every time I adjust my camera to match like Rich, he like moves.
Oh
yeah, he's gonna be on this side later.
What do I need?
No, what I'm saying is like he like sits up, then he like slouches down, sits up, and
yeah, it's like I slouch because that's no, and then I'm like, oh frick, I gotta have better posture. I gotta sit up,
Yeah, you gotta fix it. You don't want to be all like all fucked up.
So, wait, can you tell everybody what you're driving? Because I love your car, and I really wanted to. The problem with something like Iraq Veteran is it's kind of like, hey, miss you, love you, all right, see you later, gotta go. You don't get to talk to people for a long time. and yes, Jordan Vinro is Stealth Arms.
Brought to you by Gideon Optics. Gideon Optics is affordable optics at an affordable price, but you do not lose quality by saving money. Actually, the quality is there. I run Gideon Optics on all my firearms. On my 43X, I run a Judge. I also run an Alpha. I run an Omega, and I also run a Rock on different things. I even have a Mediator, which I run on my MCX.
Hold on, I'll just hold this here right now. Is that better?
They gotta be. That's what we want to see. I want to see close-ups. Shit.
Next.
Oh boy. What do I drive? I drive a Toyota 12, and she runs pretty solid. She gets through just about every kind of bit of shitty terrain that sometimes these towers may be on, like on top of mountains and really far away trails. Like, I think we were almost all the way up to the Canadian border, like up to like 10 times at this point. It was pretty crazy. It's very rough out there sometimes, especially during winter. Woo! We're kind of psychos. I mean, we're kind of gluttons for punishment because like we had to go all the way up to like this one tower in somewhere in like Wisconsin, and it was really high up, and they had like these giant mountains, and it was just like it was like a really long icy trail all the way up to the tower, and the tower was like about, I want to say like 100 feet, So you're talking 100 feet of like super deep snow and shit.
Oh,
And then there's
shoot.
bear tracks like running along the ice and everything. And we're like, all right, we gotta do we do this? Like, okay. And then, grab my rifle and then I just strapped that to my chest and we're like, let's go do this.
Oh,
So, yeah, this got,
jeez.
like, out of hand, but I love it. I honestly wouldn't trade it for anything else. It's like it's
Oh.
free.
When you went up to the Canadian border, did you get to fight off any hockey players or lumberjacks?
No. Unfortunately, apparently some of them were very, very nice, and they had the best poutines ever. They were so hospitable, and it was great. Man, we kept up. So we stayed at this bar, and we kept them up like almost 2 hours past closing because we were hanging out with the owners and shit. And we were just having a great time and everything else. And then we were talking about bears because we saw the bear tracks there, and the guy's like, "You guys want to see one?" And they're like, "What do you mean?"
And
they had a
kitchen or something.
Yeah, they had like a giant life-sized bear in their basement, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know if this guy's fucking with me or not. So I had to pull my side bag. I pulled my side bag open just in case. And I'm like, all right, this sounds like some shit they're gonna kidnap. I don't know. Do you want to see the bear in my closet? Essentially. Just that.
Did they tell you they had candy also?
Yeah, they're all. You what?
Have you ever seen a cockpit Billy? You know where that's from?
Airplane.
Airplane, yeah. It's an old movie. It's a great movie, though.
There's about 100 questions I want to ask you about your vehicle. Now, you basically live in or on your truck, right?
Yeah, we live on it. We live and breathe it every day. It's a lot of fun. It's got its challenges. It's a different lifestyle because the thing is you're chasing after, pretty good sums of, money and all that. And there's decent money into it, but it's just up to you, like how much you want to, get after it. Because it's like for other industries and shit, it's a little weird. For drone pilots right now. Sorry, my wife's like, what are you doing? Which one? No, it doesn't work.
Bring into his car.
No battery.
I was like, who is that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's his wife.
Yeah. What type of drone do you fly?
Huh?
What type of drone do you use?
I use a Mavic Pro 2. Nothing too fancy. We can't use. Well, some of our pilots use the newer ones. I've seen it in action, and
do you see them?
See what, babe? I'm in the middle of something. Okay, cool. Sorry, my wife's trying to show me a really dope hawk that's flying around, and our super long distance camera battery's dead, so she can't take a picture. Oh well. So yeah, it can get kind of mixed because sometimes we have a little waiting period between jobs, and other times we just hang out and just chill at like camping sites, just go adventure, like depending on where we are. Like, why not?
So how many days a month are you like in the truck and versus like in a hotel room or staying with family somewhere?
It usually depends on work cycles. So like if we got a lot of work, we're probably always on the road, and there's always something. There's always people that we know in between that we know we can just chill out maybe a day or two. We're not trying to freeload nothing, of course. We always have something, to offer. I stayed over at Paul's place, and we helped them build a shed. It was awesome, man. Like I had like a respiratory infection for like the whole time.
Oh shoot!
In my ass, dude. Like I got it from Ohio.
You had a respiratory infection in your ass?
No, in my lungs.
Okay, I'm kind of confused there. Like, how does that work?
No. Be different. I think that's something totally different. But no, I had that shit there, and then I was doing cold plunges with him, and I was working out with him, and then that shit got cleared through, and I started feeling so much better. Like it got pretty rough at one point, but after that, no, man, we've just been rolling. We've been fortunate to get decently steady work.
Where are you now?
We're in Michigan.
You travel a lot when you're like, oh, what state am I in?
Yeah, no, because like I'm on the border between two, so it's like I don't know where we're gonna go next. We just finished up like this whole project here, so we have another buddy of ours that's shout out to Paul. He's working out the northern parts of Michigan and all that, so he got the shittier end of the stick, and he's got to drive out and work more harder sites. So we have to use the newer drones and shit eventually, because it's like some of the requirements that these companies are asking for are getting insane. Like there's some weird scope creep going on.
Really? Like what are the new requirements that they want?
So they want to do like more flights and more orbits around certain stuff, and it just gets to a point where it's a little redundant sometimes. They're going
So
with
it's
this
not
new
like
format so it captures the data a lot better. And
oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask about data and what kind of equipment are they pushing you for new equipment?
No, it's just like some of the flights that require some of the towers that we do, they can be in the excess of like 500-600 feet up in the air. And the thing is, you have to do like so many orbits and so many like scans of the tower that it just becomes like almost 12. It becomes a very huge amount of files. It just gets to a point where it's like your battery. And by the time you're done doing certain orbits, they have to be done continuously too. By the way, they're all continuous.
Okay.
Kind of like it's painting a really cool shit. But yeah, that's what a lot of companies are using, telemetry-based kind of software to develop like 3D models and measurement models of properties, especially like buildings and so you get to calculate space.
My friend has a architect company. Shout out MW Architects, and they use drones to do 3D modeling and stuff of things.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! It's kind of changing like the.
They do it all in house though.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, sometimes it's best to just hire your own pilot if they know what they're doing. They have they have this newer one. It's called the BLK to fly, and it uses like a laser point cloud. And basically, you can scan almost an entire building, and then the file size remains up to like something really small, like in the 10 gigabyte range.
Okay.
In an entire building, painted, measured, everything, and you can have a whole 3D mock-up model of it. It's a wild little thing, and it's all autonomous too. It's completely.
Oh no way!
Yeah, it's completely.
Oh, that's crazy.
So you're designating a building, and then you're getting the spaces, and then it just flies up like a game of kind of Tetris. It's so weird.
And that's what he does. That's what they have.
Oh, and by the way, it's by Leica, and it only starts at $60K.
Oh yeah. So give it a shot and all that, and then some pilots I knew flew it, and they got to try it out. It's interesting, but it needs some work apparently. I don't know. They say that it's a beta program right now, so it's not like super final and all that, but I got high hopes because I mean, like the BLK dog one is really cool, and I was able to play that dog robot one.
If you guys ever want to try it, I mean, I can maybe arrange it if you're in this area sometime.
Hell yeah! Where are you?
DC.
DC. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear about that shit. How do you like DC?
I mean, I grew up here, so.
Jesus, man.
It's definitely a different world here. Like it's different than other places. When people are like, man, things are too political. Like, it's not political. When I go to other places, it's like you guys don't know what political is.
Yeah, you're living it. Holy shit.
But we never, like in this area, we never go into recessions. So we're untouched by recessions and stuff like that. Unemployment was always low. Like even when like the rest of the country is taking a shit bath.
And isn't the average household income $200,000 or better?
In my town, what is the average personal income? I'll look it up. It's something ridiculous though. It's like the highest in the country.
That's because that's where all your tax dollars go to finance John's neighbors.
Where did
The
Animal
average person
respiratory.
in Loudoun County makes like $147,111 a
It,
year.
and what that means is that's the average. And we could talk median and mean and all that bit, but in other words, there's probably people making a stupid amount more
Yeah.
from lobbying and government jobs like Fauci and all that.
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things about Loudoun County is we do have low income housing.
Oh, and that's for the people making 100 grand or less.
I think it's like 89 or less.
So, because the people that clean your houses need affordable housing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
You were cutting on me yesterday because I have a landscaper.
yeah, no, it's I think our low income housing starts at like 89, and you can get like
Food stamps if you make less than 80.
I don't think you get food stamps, but you get like low income housing though. But our low income housing is those townhouses. You've been to my house. You know those townhouses across the street from the grocery store? Right?
Yeah.
That's low income housing.
Okay.
It's the only low income housing you're gonna see with have Mercedes and BMWs parked in front of it.
Right. Oh,
That's just ridiculous here, man.
And meanwhile, Christian's living in his car.
Yeah.
So, what are the challenges? I mean, I guess right now, like your cell phone bill and all that bit, you can pay that online. You can do your banking online. So I guess having a physical address. Do you have what do you need mail for? Do you have mail going to like families' houses or something?
Yeah, I got fixed points. I have a house. The thing is that I don't disclose it. That's why. So we're not. We can always live. We live mainly on the road. The thing is that given the situation, we wanted living on the road at that point, man. I don't know.
Oh, here it is, Rich. I found it for you. 20% of Loudoun County people in Loudoun County make more than $200,000 a year.
Only 20? Wow. Yeah, and that's individuals or households?
Individuals.
Mm-hmm. That could certainly be a good income, but then again, you're burning through the money. I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah,
it's
really expensive.
I live in Palm Beach County, and the only expensive thing is keeping up with the Joneses because I live in the redneck portion of Palm Beach County on a dirt road. So my wife's like, "Oh, she has an Audi SUV." I'm like, "Yeah, we're not getting that." "Oh, she has a BMW SUV." "Yeah, we're not getting that." I'm like, "I'll have my Lexus SUV / Toyota." Because it runs forever as long as you change the oil and you're good.
There's a place where it figures out how much you need to make an hour to be able to afford to live in an area. And Loudoun County, if you have one kid, you need to make $44.73 an hour.
Oh, okay. So Jordan asked, "Have you ever crashed a drone?" And I think everybody crashes a drone. And then Chris
boy.
Thanks, Chris.
Did one at the range?
No, Jordan or Chris wasn't at the range. Neither one of those guys.
Oh, okay. No. So for me, crashing a drone, no, I've never crashed.
Really?
I used to crash
from a direct result of the only time I've ever actually crashed was maybe 2 years ago, and I was running a test, and then I was flying in a forest, and the thing is I was too close to something that I probably shouldn't have been, and I did a full send, and the drone was gone, and then all of a sudden my drone wasn't
wait for a second.
and yeah, it was a yeah. That's the only time I've ever actually crashed. But beyond that, I mean, working next to equipment and shit, I've had some really close calls because the drones don't like microwave antennas too much. Like I even have pictures actually
Oh,
on one, and my drone was like, so I do a couple orbits basically around these antennas, and like I can't divulge too much information, but I get close enough to it that it can cause interference to the drone and cause it to like wiggle out, and then the gimbal tends to fail first, so it's really terrifying. So like the gimbal, all you see in the camera is just like it freaks out, and then it just goes limp and dead.
oh shoot.
Yeah. So I'm not sure particularly why it does that, but I usually see that with microwave antennas. And I just only had a bunch of close calls with that, and I mean a lot. But as far as like crashing on work, no, I've you know, God forbid, and knock on wood, wherever there's wood somewhere, that yeah, I don't crash.
So, all right, when I got myself a drone for Christmas this past year, you told me get the insurance on it. Is that because you know I crash things, or what? Why'd you tell me that?
What? Cause, bro, it's just like that's the only time. I mean, any other time, yeah, doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean I haven't. I don't know if I got some sand or dirt in my motors because they don't like spin super smooth. But
well, it's been super smooth because you want motor resistance.
yeah.
I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. What I was saying is I used to crash my drone. I used to have like back in the day, like way back in the day, I had a Parrot Aero drone.
Oh my gosh.
And that thing crashed a lot.
That's like first gen.
Yeah. That thing would crash. It actually had a kill switch where you would, if it started to fly away, you could hit a kill switch and it would just like drop.
Oh shoot.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first drone. It's a Parrot Aero drone.
My first drone was a Phantom, and I put the props wrong on the wrong configuration. And why that was the case? So me, like an absolute fucking retard, decide, hey, let's just keep trying it, and I did it twice, and every single time, and then crashed sideways. So I'm like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, videos actually help. That was like my first experience with a drone, and the best part was it wasn't my drone, so it was fun. It was fine.
Yeah, the Aero drone is interesting because you had to use like a tablet or a phone to control it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You didn't actually have a remote.
It was like this big, giant, like white remote that felt like a field station and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was like all touchscreen and it wasn't really responsive, and
yeah. You also got to be careful because the thing is, we work in like a time lapse configuration when we're shooting our images on the tower and shit. So the thing is, like you get like a 2-second shutter delay after every shot. So you're seeing and you're working this whole thing in a delayed kind of reaction. So it's like you have to anticipate objects or wires and bullshit that get in the way. So it's like, yeah, that DJI drones destroying tanks is like one of the most terrifying fucking things I can imagine. That's fucking. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It won't destroy it if you have car tires on top. Then you're okay.
I saw a video. I posted it that I got from a source, and it was the cartels are using drones to drop bombs.
Oh yeah, especially.
Why is a cartel dropping bombs? Is it on a rival cartel?
Yeah. Dude, are you kidding me? Why are these so expensive now?
God, what's going on in Israel, man? Holy fuck.
No, I'm saying, look, right here. This thing is old as shit. Why is it?
What are you looking at?
I'll bring it up. Someone tell me why this is selling for the price that it's selling for. Like new.
You're not sharing
back
it.
in the day. I'm sharing it. New back in the day, this was $300.
Oh my! Well, that's first off, it's not sold.
novelty now.
Look, and shipping
Yeah.
$115.
What? Where is it coming from? China?
I don't know, but dude, the thing is like all. This is all foam.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen those
The
things.
thing weighs like less than a freaking pound. Why is it that expensive?
Wow.
6 to 8 weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
well, Rip Curl Readiness
museum
wants a
quality
heavy lift.
replica. It's made out of wood. What the hell?
No, there's no wood on that. Mahogany wood stand included. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a museum replica.
Man,
It's
amazing.
made to order. Why would anybody want?
I crave it. The only thing is keeping that big ass drone in your truck. It's huge.
Oh, I mean, I printed. So I got a Mini 3 Pro, and I printed a case for it, and it's like this big, and it fits in my backpack. So the only thing I'm looking at the Mini 4, and the Mini 4 has basically the same camera specs, probably the same sensor, maybe some upgraded software, but it's got some cool features that the more expensive drones have. So it will show you your launch point and where you are. So you'll see augmented reality. You'll see the flight home path, and if you do flight planning. Oh, and the transmitter, if you have their full-blown transmitter with a screen in it, you can run other apps on it. It's basically an Android device.
Did you get the when I sent you the one that it was like $100 off, $150 off with the transmitter?
Nah.
You didn't get it?
No, I didn't.
It's a good
No,
deal.
I've got the Mini 3 Pro, and I don't have a whole lot of hours on it, so it's got to be a long time before I upgrade.
Yeah, this is like the Mini 4 Pro with and it came with the transmitter and everything. Best Buy had it when they first launched, and if you had a Best Buy credit card, you got it for $150 off with the remote with the screen.
Yeah, I mean that's included. Fantastic deal, but maybe if I had a job in a month, I would consider getting that, but I don't.
I don't think they still have it.
Yeah. No, that was something I don't have a need. I'm not making money with a drone. It's more of a fun thing I've always wanted.
It was like their summer Black Friday sale when it first came out. So that was like an incredible deal. I almost pulled the trigger, but I didn't.
Well, when was the last time you upgraded your drone?
I got a Mavic 2 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do it like because of remote ID, but
if they're together about that, that shit's not gonna fly. Who's gonna enforce that shit? It's a joke at this point. Remote ID.
Yeah. They keep.
Who's gonna enforce that?
Yeah, they keep pushing the date back 6 months. So.
Yeah, because because they don't want that. Like business owners have to add that cost burden onto themselves and shit, and it's just like there's no, subsidization. I don't know. There's nothing to help alleviate that because it's like now you're having to sell drones at a much more expensive, cost and shit. I mean, granted, it's probably like a $10 module, really, but still.
Yeah, well, they estimated that it was going to be a $50 module for people to buy and install, and like the cheapest ones out on the market right now, if you can find them, is $300. So that's why they delayed it. Really,
I remember a couple years back at Oshkosh, there was a company, and they were doing ADS-B for both airplanes and drones. They had pretty cost-effective solutions. But who knows? Maybe
that's before the FAA said you're going to be required to have this.
Could be.
Then everyone's like, because they used to be $50.
Yeah.
Then when the FAA said, "Hey, this is going to be required," everyone went, "It's going to be required." $300.
Yeah. And the problem is, it's got to be certified. So that's you're not getting away with some sort of software-defined radio doing it yourself, with off-the-shelf ports.
Yeah.
which I was kind of surprised. So the mini series of drones from DJI are 249 grams. So most of the regulations don't apply to them.
They're 249 grams on purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
They're one more gram, then they would have been screwed.
But they actually have remote ID built into it.
Yeah. Well, the Mavic 2, I found out it actually does have remote ID built into it. But there's the firmware doesn't support it yet.
Oh shoot!
The
Chris,
Mavic,
what were you showing us?
oh, that was just a drone from Sig Sauer. So they just stuck
Oh,
5 on a FPV drone
Nice.
by Sig Sauer, and I was like, what the fuck? So I guess we can start doing it now. It's okay. Let's keep working on it, guys. Especially you 3D guys. Like, we need to work on the latch release mechanism. All it is that basically on your drones, they have like an auxiliary light capability. So if you were to find some sort of method to engage that light, you'd be able to
yeah.
create
So the Mini 2 had that. The Mini 3 doesn't.
Really?
Yeah. So some guy tapped into it because you could set the lights a different way on the Mini 2 on the remote, and on the Mini 3 apparently you don't have that feature anymore.
Well, that's worthless. Shit. Well, the thing is with the Mini 3, you don't want to be crashing that thing anyway on an expense level, because that gimbal is worth way more than the drone actually is.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so be really, really careful flying with those, because what I heard from repair companies, I know a really good one. Shout out to Ohio Drones. They said that they got like this big giant box of like Mavic. It was the Air 3s. They had like literally like 50 of them in boxes, like just all thrown apart together. And they're like, yeah, just check it if it works or not.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So it was just like, no fucking way. That's fucking cool. So yeah, you don't want to fuck those up. Like the Mini 3, they say that repairing the gimbal is way harder now. But you know, I don't own one. I haven't bothered with it just yet. I do like that feature where it can go vertical. That's pretty cool. But
I haven't used it.
Yeah, I was surprised that the Mavic 2 actually had a remote ID built into it. It's just it's just not activated.
So the hardware's there.
The hardware is there.
The capability.
There's no.
When they kind of initiated that shit, and then it's just a situation.
Yeah, they say that's gonna have firmware ready around December-ish.
So actually, I wanted, if I put this on my drone, I'd be overweight, but I'd love to fly this around on my drone.
I'm sure you're just losing a little battery life. That's it.
Yeah. Well, as far as the 249 grams. Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about that. Remote ID isn't in effect yet.
Yeah, I run it sometimes. I used to, just for legal reasons, because I'm next to airports and shit very often. So in some cases you have to, especially when you get a lance through. Those are pretty terrifying. There's something about the lance system that's just intimidating, like as a pilot, because it's like, you're sure you can do this, but guess what? Now your ass is on the line if you do this and you fuck up. So don't. So it's like a lot of pressure, and when you're dealing with I'm talking like 25 miles whacking your drone around.
So I'll be right back, and I'm going to get my drone to answer the question.
Yeah, honestly, the Mavic Pro, the Mavic 2 Pro, is a lot bigger than the Mini. So taking it on a trip or something, it's a little bit harder than the Mini. The Mini's tiny, and it does almost the exact same stuff. Yeah. If you're not doing it for like, I don't know.
If you're doing it for like fun and hobby and just like self capture, keep the Mini 3. If you're doing like industrial work, pipeline and all that kind of stuff, then go with the Pro. If you're trying
both drones are very easy to fly. I don't think there's a difference in how easy they are.
Yeah, it's just for cost. It's just like, yeah, people don't want to generally go with the Mavic Pro 3 because it's a lot of fucking money flying in the air. You don't want to fuck that up.
Yeah.
So this is either basically, if you're carrying around a Mini 3 or Mini 3 Pro, and to fly it, basically this is what you need. So 3-pack of batteries, and the charger. And the charger works great. It sequentially charges the batteries. I don't have I forget what the display is, the RC1 or whatever it's called, where it has the controller with the display built in. So I use my cell phone. I 3D printed this case. So the controller's right here, the drone's here, and I just took a saw to make sure it doesn't bang up any of the 2 forward cameras.
Yeah.
So there's obstacle avoidance cameras. So there's 2 on the bottom, 2 up front, and there's 2 rear here. So I would say the drone question is, what's your mission? If your mission is like, hey, I'm gonna like take the thing and just do random stuff with it and have it with me all the time, then the mini series is good. And I'd recommend going with the Pro because there's the AI features that aren't included in the Mini 3. So if you go the Pro, you get those features, and that's why I went with the Pro.
Yeah.
So
the Mavic is a lot bigger, so it's not as easy to be transported.
yeah, so this actually fits in like the top section of my backpack, and I'll take it with me wherever I go. But setting up and flying a drone, still as quick and easy as it is, I brought a direct veteran with me and it didn't leave my backpack. It's a difficult event. Like if you're going as a single creator, you really need a camera person to capture everything. And if like I had somebody running as my camera person, then then they could put up a drone and get some shots or whatever. But I wasn't about to do that. And hats off to whoever designed the
I was
case.
getting you the name of the.
No, Dragonfly's a good heavy lift drone, right?
See, I wanted to build my own heavy lift.
Yeah, that one's a pretty dope one. They're working on their own proprietary model too, which I'm very excited for because you can also it could also run from LTE networks, which is a really nice advantage to have if you yourself have like a LTE router next to you that you can quickly transmit to a drone. So it's like you can also run it over service. So basically, you can be out of sight with your drone and keep it running continuously.
So this is what Jordan Finro wants.
Yeah.
So it's actually an octocopter because it has 4 motors. So it's one on top of the other. So.
Oh, the Jetson. Oh yeah, man, I remember this thing.
I think this is a money grab. I think this is just the modern Muller flying car.
I think it was like 60K for that bullshit. And I'm like, like you think for a second the FAA is gonna grant you this bullshit? Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful. I hope it delivers. I hope there's not.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not wishing ill on anyone, but there's a lot of things like this that appear to me to be a money grab. The Muller flying car has historically been a big money grab type thing, and what was the other one? The Terrafugia. Yeah, I met Dieter or whatever his name was, the CEO of the company, many years ago, probably 15 or more years ago, and he's the kind of guy, what makes a car work as a car is exclusive of what makes an airplane work as an airplane. And when you put them together, you get something that's not good at any of them. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem.
All right.
And
go ahead.
And Dieter or whatever his name was, he's one of these guys that figured there was some calculus problem you could solve to make it work. And I'm like, yeah, nah.
Okay, shout out to the DC Project. If you guys don't know what the DC Project is, the DC Project is women from all 50 states, and they do a lot of gun advocacy. Their motto is education, not legislation, and they try to educate like politicians and stuff like that. They are very, very effective. Diane Muller, who is the leader, testified in front of Congress, and if you don't know, Diane Muller is the one that said, I will not comply, when they asked her, well, what do you do if you know, if they're gonna take your AR, she's like, I will not comply. That's Diane Muller. She's the leader of that. They have a lot of great women. A lot of them has been on my show. So if you guys can do something for the DC project, go right ahead. And DC project, you better invite me to your rally since you're gonna be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Beth Alcazar is one of who was it? It wasn't Beth. Who was it? Man. I was in a DC restaurant. And one of the DC project women came in and she heard us talking about guns. She's like, "Oh, I just want to introduce myself about, with the DC project," and started talking about it and stuff like that. Oh, man, I can't remember who was it and stuff like that, right? And I was like, "You've been on my show."
Uh-huh.
And she was like, "Really?" Like, it's John Crawford. She's like, "Oh my God." I was in a suit and stuff. I was meeting with some people on Capitol Hill.
Oh, I see my patch.
Oh yeah.
The squadron patch.
Oh, let's put in this one. We get the cookout. Yeah, we're in.
I just thought it was funny because it's like, yeah, I know who you are. You've been on my podcast. Like, oh.
Ooh, who's cooking what?
Oh man.
You waiting for the barbecue?
No, there's like all sorts of bullshit going on here, man. I'd say the worst part we've ever been in is Baltimore, and then definitely DC was definitely there. Not gonna lie to you,
Baltimore is.
Of like this one time,
Baltimore is definitely not the most friendly places to be.
He was asking for money and shit, and this guy was like literally like leaning on people's cars like that in the middle of the intersection. I was just like, yeah,
oh no.
Yeah, that was right in the middle of DC. That was great. I was just like, yeah, here we go.
I got stuck in DC one time. Really? I got like stuck in like my car got stuck on ice, and some really nice crackheads helped push me out. Amanda suffer cool. That's who it was.
That's awesome. Hell
but
yeah.
No, seriously, I was going to a wedding. My car got stuck. I was in my Mercedes. I had a Mercedes at the time, and my wheels just kept on spinning. And I see these guys literally smoking crack, and they start walking towards me. I'm like, oh shit!
Oh no!
And they just started pushing on my car, and they pushed.
Were they congressmen?
No.
Oh.
I think Marion Barry might have been one of them, but no, but they pushed me out, and like I was like, "Thank you guys." I was like, "I'm not stopping to give you money because I don't want to get robbed. I'm just gonna keep on going."
I'm just gonna go.
I see this guy smoking crack, and they start walking towards me. I'm like, my Mercedes did not have an ice button.
We had a weird experience in Connecticut. Connecticut, I like to call it. We were at the hotel, and the hotel had the parking garage below, like the ground. And I was like, "Where the fuck?"
The name of the street first.
Oh yeah. So first off, it was on what was it, Salem Street?
Asylum.
Yeah, Asylum Street. First off,
Asylum Street.
He decided to get a hotel by a place, street called Asylum Street.
Asylum Street, and then I dropped her off. I already got checked in. I gave her all this stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna pull the car into the parking garage. I'll meet you here at the elevator." And then I drive out, and I'm looking for the goddamn parking garage, and he didn't tell me it was below ground. And I was like, "What the fuck is it? This guy's stupid." So I had to drive all the way around, and I drove around an entire giant block, and there was a guy like on PCP on the side of the road going like this. And then down the block was an ambulance, like just right from there. And it's just like, my God, man, fucking shithole. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So we refunded the rooms and just got the fuck out of it.
Hey,
That's like Albany, New York.
I'm going to show you what they're talking about. The ice button. It's a stuck button. Basically, there's a button, but people, it's for in case your hair is stuck in the mud or sand or whatever. But that's not why people use it. I'm going to show you why people use it. You watch. So it bounces up and down, right, to get you unstuck. But that's not why people use it. This is what people use it for. That's what people use it for.
I've never seen that. That's fucking.
I need that feature.
That's what people use it for. They just ride down the road like bouncing.
I mean, like, I wonder what they're listening to. Shit.
Now will it sync with what you're playing? That's the question.
No, but it's supposed to be like in case you get stuck.
I know.
People use it like it's usually people that really can't afford Mercedes, but somehow they got Mercedes anyway.
Pretend
Ooh, are you like a gatekeeper to the Mercedes community, Crow?
No, it's just if you look at who's driving it, it's.
I don't know. I don't think there's recovery from that, John.
There's definitely. I'll lean right into it, Dan.
Look at Jordan.
I'll lean right into it. It's usually on the younger side.
So their daddy bought it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You never see somebody like a middle-aged person.
Oh, I would do that.
Bouncing. Well, maybe you.
Oh, I would totally. Me and Dark. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want to do that. That seems like it would. The point of a Mercedes is it's freaking so smooth.
Not for
pros.
And now you're gonna take away the smoothness and freaking go down the road bouncing up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. One feature that I feel like there's great biblical stories about this.
Yeah, but so basically that's no one actually uses it for what it's actually meant for.
Thanks. Yeah, like, that's I love it. I love it. Humanity at its finest at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Imagine speeding down an icy road and hitting that button.
It's just that one neighbor that that doesn't like you and shit. You just bump in front of their house. Damn, that sounds a little hateful.
All right, well, we got to get out of here. So you can follow Flying Rich at Flying Rich Firearms, Flying Rich _official on Instagram. And then go ahead and tell everyone where they can follow you. X7 Studios.
How's it going, guys? I'm starting up a podcast. It's called Rig Talk. It should be posting up very quickly. I've done episode 1. Episode 2 is pending. You guys can find me here on X7 Studios on YouTube. I'm shadow banned as fuck, so you have to kind of type my full name out. Sorry. It's X7_Studios. Yeah, we got cool stuff in the pipeline. Let's see what the future holds. I really hope that everyone stays safe following tomorrow in light of the bullshit going on over in Israel, man. Like, real talk.
I think something's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen here. I think it might happen.
I hope not. I really hope
might happen somewhere globally, but I don't think it's going to happen in freaking Ashburn.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think it's going to happen here in Michigan either, but still.
But Michigan might.
Check in on your loved ones is all I could say, and all I can offer people. Really, go check on them.
I can see it. I can see it happening in Michigan.
Yeah, I hope. I don't want to say I hope so, but
right. Hope not.
Shit could use some fixing around here because this place is an absolute shit pile. It's like every advertisement pass across is weed. Literally every ad is either weed or medical shit. It's just like this feels a little dystopian.
My book is available for pre-order on Amazon Kindle. The hard copy and paperback drops on November 1st in Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and other places. So you just have to check around and find it. Amazon is definitely available on. Also, damn it, I have some signed copies that are going to be sent out a little bit early. So if you want a signed copy of either the paperback or hard copy, let me know. I'll get it to you. It's gonna be like $5 extra so I can cover shipping. But if you want one, just reach out. I think I have 10 paperbacks left and nine hardcovers left. So
Congratulations.
Do I get a signed hardcover?
Yeah, I got left. I think I got 6 hard copies looking over there, and like 7. So 6 and 7. Not forgot.
Oh, cool.
I had a couple extra that were spoken for now that I forgot all about. So yeah, you'll get a signed hard copy in a couple years.
Ooh.
And with that, we are out of here. I love you guys very much. Stay ever vigilant. Stay safe. Keep on packing. And what I want to say is, just for the record, even though I don't believe that anything really major is going to happen tomorrow in the United States, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you should always prepare for that, no matter what. So I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, prepare, yourself. Do this for Friday." No, you should be doing that shit every day. That should be your.
Mhm.
You should always be carrying. Stay strapped or get clapped. Keep a truck gun or car gun, whatever you want to do it, whatever you want to say. Just be prepared. Always be aware of your surroundings and everything. But yeah, it's just we should be doing that every day.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a wake up call now. I hope.
Yeah, keep a med kit on you. Don't forget. We got the protection portion. A lot of us, it's easy to carry, but a med kit is a good thing to carry around with you also.
Yeah, I have a med kit. I carry a doctor around with me actually, so I'm really prepared.
That's a gift you can give a lot of people too. Then give them a bit of training too to go along with it, because it's like my mother. I finally got in touch with after her and I don't really talk a whole bunch, but after a while she finally came around. She was a big Biden supporter, fucking all this other shit. She kind of came around and saw the light, thankfully. So it's she's not into guns and all that kind of shit, but the least I can do is give her a med kit, give her a bit of training onto the. This is I think more people should definitely work on that. Give people that med kit for Christmas.
The paperback will come out. It's called Masters of Firepower. It goes into it's like a 500-some page book. It goes into 20 firearms designers throughout history. I'll link where you can get it on Amazon, because it's probably the easiest place to get it from. But the hardcover and paperback comes out on the 1st, and if you want to get a signed copy, just reach out to me. Instagram, Real John Crump, Twitter, email me info@crumpy.com or whatever, and I will get you whatever you need as a signed copy. If you would like my signature for some god-forsaken unknown reason. Besides Richie doesn't get one for a year.
Mm-hmm. Along with my PR trigger.
Yeah, you're gonna get that in June of 2027, I think.
Damn.
Well, okay then. That's harsh.
Oh, I have so many books: calculus, physics, language, encryption. Dude, I'm gonna have to call you sometime.
Just pop.
Yeah, give Crump your number. He'll call you at midnight. Talk string theory.
Yeah, Rich was like, "What are you calling?" I was like, "Can't sleep, man. I got to talk string theory." But why don't you talk to your wife about it? She won't let me. Should I tell the story really quick?
You can tell the story, Crump.
And my wife wakes up one night, and I think my wife told you this story. But so my wife told Rich this story because she thinks it's freaking hilarious. So she's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I can't sleep." She's like, "Why can't you sleep?" I was like, "I just got a lot on my mind." She's like, "You can tell me." I was like, "No, I don't think I can." She's like, "No, you can tell me anything." I said, I said, I was just thinking about M theory and some of the math. Before I get out the word math, she goes, "Good night," and she turned around. Like, and I was like, "But you said I can talk to you about anything," and she was like, "Well, I changed my mind. Can't talk to me about anything. Good night."
Yeah.
And then I went downstairs and called Rich. I didn't talk to someone about it. I couldn't sleep.
No.
It was keeping me up.
Chris, I'm gonna give him your number next.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. See you guys later. Remember.